morning, guys and gals, and welcome to the Monday, May 6th. I don't know where this year's going. We're already over one third the way through 2024. Wow. Welcome to the Morning Coffee and Chat. I hope everybody had an amazing weekend. I know it was a busy one for me. Let me see here. No one in here yet. Everybody's getting a late start to the day. Must be what Monday's all about. There's Tony. How you doing this morning, bud? It's just me and you. There's no folks yet. It's very unusual. I was actually kind of shocked you weren't in here early. There's Carr. I've been in here for half hour. It didn't show you. It didn't show you. Go figure. Good morning, Carr. Happy Monday to you, my friend. Hope you had a good weekend. Gunny, good morning, sir. It, well, it's like I was saying before anybody got in here. I hope you guys had a good weekend. You actually got to do a little something that you wanted to get done. I have been busier than a one-legged feller in a butt-kicking contest. Between work and, the getting stuff ready for the weekend of the 20th, the 17th, 18th, and 19th. Trying to get my war chief, Scottish war chief outfit completed. When this is over with this morning, I have to go lay 9 yards of plaid out in the living room floor and start putting the hems in the back of the kilt. That's going to be probably about 4 or 5 hours worth of work right there. Luckily, the wife got home just a little bit later, and she's just now going back to sleep. So, I have the house to myself, except for wee kitties wanting to crawl all over the plaid and play with it and stuff. But do you realize that when you start the stream, you cut tour self off for the first couple of comments? No, because I usually wait until it says you're live before I start to talk. So wow, I did not know that. So now I will know to wait for the little guy in my head to yell action. I got to go to laser tag with my kids. There were 18 people playing, and I got first. Not bad for a 44-year-old man. Nope, not bad at all. Each time it posts in mid-sentence. Posts in mid-sentence. Wow, I did not know. Good morning, Sarah. I hope you're doing well this morning. I actually had videos pop up for you, one last night and one this morning. Those were cute. I like those. I like the one of your daughter dancing in the living room. And I haven't got to watch the one this morning yet because I have been so freaking busy. I've only been up for like an hour and a half this morning, and I've been, like I said earlier, been running around like a one-legged guy in a butt-kicking contest. So, but yeah, very, very cute videos. I love the one of your daughter dancing in the living room. But, you know, like I said, I hope everybody had a good weekend. We were so incredibly busy on Friday and Saturday. Of course, Friday night I had the mother-in-law's birthday party at one of the competition bars. One of the competition bars, the only competition bar we have. Um, yeah, it's that was fun. That was fun. I didn't even know my daughter was uploading videos until 2 weeks ago. Yeah, that's pretty cute that she, she took over your um, channel and started uploading her own videos on there. My daughter started doing stuff like that. I would just kind of look at her and try to be as serious as I possibly could and say, can't I have anything that's just mine? You're starting to wear my clothes. I buy something specific that I want to eat and you eat it before I get to it. Now you're taking over my YouTube channel. How was the party? Party was really fun. She had about 15 people show up. Um, Cute little bar. The building actually used to belong to an antique collector. He wasn't an antique dealer. He just rolled around the countryside buying up antiques. And the bar part itself has got a very old, I'm going to say, late 19th, early 20th century bar in it. There was way too many people and the music was too loud, and I would have got like massively copywritten if I would have tried recording. So I'm going to go in there sometime when they're not that busy and get some pictures of the place. But the other side of it was an old barber shop. So it's got the old barber's chairs. It's got the foot pump dental drill, all kinds of stuff like that, and it's very, very cute little place. Well, tomorrow is device replacement day, so if the worst should happen, it's been fine. Oh, don't even start talking about that shit, Tony. You're too damn ornery and stubborn for anything bad to happen. She really did, and she subscribed me to some super odd channels. It should be plug and play, no screwing wires into my heart. The $1 million man, there you go. They're upgrading him, making him stronger, faster, jump really high. That's why I like you. Yeah, exactly. You're way too ornery, bud. Way too ornery. I got to agree with Gunny on that one. You're just whenever and take this for what it's worth. It's probably going to be the only time you ever hear me say anything nice about you, Tony. But when I can't even say that with a straight face. When I'm at my lowest, when I feel like I'm too tired or too sore or too something to go on, I think about you and the fact that you're older than I am and you do much more than I do, um, and it helps me to carry on. So, take that for what it's worth. Um, but yeah, you're way too ornery for bad shit to happen. So, no, white men can't jump. They can jump off roofs, but can't sink a can't sink an 8-foot ball in a hoop, or you can't sink a ball in an 8-foot hoop, let alone a 10-foot one. So yeah, where's that white? Oh, 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 oh. Larry Bird might disagree. Have you seen him? Have you seen him on these new commercials? It's absolutely hilarious to look at him now and remember him way back when he was playing for the Celtics. It's it. I mean, he looks the same. You can tell he's older, but he looks the same. It's amazing. Off the roof. Hey, Scout Dog, good to see you, bud. It's shaky ground. Giving Tony a compliment, he might bite you. Just to remind you who you're speaking to. And yes, dog, off the roof. Actually, I shouldn't say white men can jump off roofs. White men gracefully fall off of roofs. I mean, I've told you guys the story of the walkboard incident when we were doing the roof on the story and a half tall barn garage, where we're just going along the edge of the roof, and we're putting the first few strips of shingles on it, and the kid they have me up there with has to lean against the roof, which alleviates the pressure on the ladders holding the walkboard, and the ladders start to go, oh, and we fall 15 feet into gravel and grass and landscaping timbers, and I just tucked and rolled, and he landed flat on his back and cracked a couple ribs, and I didn't have to worry about him up on a ladder with me for a couple weeks. I swear that the mayhem guy calls Bird a prick in that commercial. It's very possible. It's very possible. There's cardboard wings after a few beers. Those are what we called ladder jacks. Yeah, I mean, you had the ladders, you had the ladder jacks, and you had the great big walkboard on there. And that dingle door, he was told 3 layers, 3 rows, and stop. And he's trying to reach up there to nail that 4th one and just put the slightest bit of pressure on the edge of that roof, and the whole thing started doing this. Had just enough time to say, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, and we went down. Yeah, see, we didn't even know, or we didn't even need toe hold. The pitch was only about like this, and I just wanted to get on the roof and turn the opposite way, and run the shingles. But no, the boss wanted us to use ladders and ladder jacks, and yep, I think he might have learned his lesson on that. You don't put a greenhorn on a ladder 15 or 20 feet in the air with ladder jacks and expect that nothing is going to happen. Good morning, Debbie. Good to see you, dear. Hope you're doing well down under. 80 pounds of shingles land on you. But yeah. Luckily, the shingles hit the ground before we did because of the way the ladders were sliding. Jacks would ease for print issues on the shingles. Yeah, I need to get the roof on this place done. This place looks terrible. I mean, you know, when they bought this house almost 21 years ago, you know how manufactured housing is. You know, they put the cheapest discontinued whatever on it and then sell it for 3 times what it's worth. So it's getting ready to celebrate 21 years with 10-year shingles on it. Got more moss on this roof than most old abandoned early 20th century hunting cabins have. Mind you, everybody not feeling very good today, so took it off from work. Well, get some rest and quit working so hard, and you might get to feeling better. Because God knows, driving back and forth to Iowa every day to work, and you know, when you're off work, you're taking care of Ty and the kids and stuff like that. Quite literally working like a Hebrew slave. This week I just uploaded a new video on ghosts of poltergeist hunting. Huh. Interesting. I have to check that out. I once saw some guys use a backhoe to clean the gutters. That was a hold my beer moment. I bet it was. I bet it was. Metal Graham. Yeah, I seen the little monster thing there in Debbie's comment, and it kind of reminded me of the Frankenstein coming out of the coffee cup that I used for the thumbnail for this. I put the steep slope shingles on a dairy barn from the loader bucket of a tractor. Morning, Jan. Good to see you. You almost squeaked by me there. Man, I'll tell you what, be honest with you, the last steep roof I done was in Indianapolis. It was an 11-12 pitch. We actually took the windows out of both sides of the upstairs of this house. We were 3 stories in the air. We had dormers and everything to work on. So what we done is we took the whole window out of the old frame and we nailed double 2x4s to the frame and tied climbing ropes around it. We had on climbing harnesses to go up over the roof so we could work on the opposite sides of the roof, but we had enough room to move the full length of the roof. And that's how we done that 11-12 pitch, was with climbing harnesses and ropes 30 feet above concrete. There were sidewalks and walking paths and iron decorative fencing going all the way around this house, and it was frickin' scary, man. I think there was a couple times I got real close to the edge and looked down, and I think I temporarily turned into a female because all of my male parts sucked up inside me. Let me see here. What was that? I like what you're wearing. Looks classic. This is part of my Scottish outfit for the upcoming Ren Fair. I'm going to take the waistcoat along for when it gets too hot during midday to wear my heavy woolen coat with my kilt and stuff. Um, but yeah, this is it would fall into anywhere between 15th century and 18th, late 18th, early 19th century. Starting to take toll on me. Going to hopefully make some changes here soon for the better. I sure hope so. I sure hope so. If we have Christmas in July, I guess it's Halloween in May. Yeah, could be. You and I are in the same boat. I'm not feeling well either, so I canceled physical therapy for today. I hope you get to feeling better, Jan. That's terrible. I guess it's Halloween. Oh, I'm going the wrong way. I was trying to figure out why I kept seeing the same. No, it's a waistcoat. Yeah. On Instagram, I've never seen a white one before. Didn't expect a turtling story during my coffee today. It's amazing how those just pop up, isn't it? I saw Amy in here. There's Amy right there. I thought Amy came in. Bernard Hill died yesterday. King Theoden, a row on himself. Really? I did not know that. Morning, Chris. Yeah, I had absolutely no clue that he died. Wow. Oh, my weapon collection? Yeah, it's all my Scottish stuff. I've got my bagpipes over here. I've got my bearded axe and my Scottish dirk and my basket hilt broad right there. I'm trying to finish out my collection. I need to try to. I've actually found a person that'll make my Scottish targe. The large wooden shield that's all tacked up, got the spike coming out of the center of it that you unscrew and slide in the sheath. They make those for just a hair less than $100. But he will custom make my clan style targe. So yep, definitely waiting to be able to work out something with him. And then of course, there's the brown bass musket. That will not be coming for a long time. Those things get upwards of $1,000 or more. So, I love to hang out with you and chat in the morning. Life doesn't always cooperate. No, it doesn't. No, I have not killed anybody with my bagpipes yet. Amazingly enough, before the interior bag ruptured that actually holds the air to make the pipes work, I was taking it down here to the lake, and it's actually quite beautiful echoing off the water. I can't wait to get the bag fixed again and be able to start playing again. Let me see here. Low sugar, like I have nearly every damn night. One of Ashley's high school teachers passed away yesterday unexpectedly. Oh, wow. That's crazy. I love Scotland so much. I'd marry a Scottish person. Not kidding. He's got the Titanic movies. Well, I believe. Wow. Morning, Santee. Good to see you, bud. Hope you're doing well this morning. I'm doing good. Thank you for asking. I take all the precautions you need, man. Look out for yourself. Definitely so. I have a very, very cheap targe that I built for our wedding. Since we had a Scottish wedding, I just went out and got like a little round tabletop at a Lowe's and varnished it real dark, and then I used upholstery tacks to decorate it. But it sat on the table right by at the reception where our book was at that everybody signed. That's the only thing I have, and it hangs on the wall right above our bed with the claymore that my son carried, and our picture of her and I on the lake in our wedding outfits, my kilt and everything, and her Irish style dress, but it hangs back there. It's never touched. It's so, let's say, poorly constructed. I had like 3 days to do it. So yeah, that's the only targe I have. Well, that's the rest of the story now. No, I have not killed anyone with my bagpipes. I've made a few people probably wish they were dead, because even a good bagpipe player, a lot of people don't like. And we had a bagpipe player at the wedding, and I could just look at the crowd. And since the wedding was outside on the lake, I could look at the crowd, and I can tell that not all of them were big fans of the pipes. Pie, pudding, ice cream. I wonder how many people in history have been killed with bagpipes. By their own hand or by the music itself? That would be the question to ask. There when we're singing on bagpipes in one of the Bond flicks, asking the real questions. Now, Scottish wedding would be perfect. A learning bagpiper is torturous. Hey Santee, I have a question. Been watching the old Gunsmoke shows and was wondering what type of pistol Matt Dillon had on in the intro. They are in black and white. I'm finding no bagpipe murders. Oh man. Colt single action 7.5 inch. Oh man. I'm putting the PayPal thing up now, guys, just for the giggles of it. Um, I have got that Ren Fair that I'm doing. Of course, I'll get paid on Sunday night when it's over with. But I'm trying to gather in a little bit of pocket, yada yada padding, to get um, my food and my coffee and a few other necessities for the event, since it's the first one of the year. And you all know my job situation, so it's not like I'm going to have a lot of money from that. Since granted, I'm up to 5 days now, 5 days a week, but it's open to slow. So I could be there an hour and be told to leave, or I could be there for 4 hours or 5 hours and be told to leave. So, yeah, I was there for 2 hours yesterday, and an hour of that was sitting on my butt watching TV because we had two customers in there. So, I'm basically I'm putting up the you know just not to mention the fact that this place being the first event of the year, and with me being head of security, they always tend to cut me much better deals on props and shit like that I could use for my Scottish persona, or I could use here on the channel for props. So that's about it on that one. I'm not going to go back into any. Barrel looked long, so wasn't sure. That was the standard length beginning. One of the standards. His gun on the show was rented from an antique dealer. Only 9 thumbs up and 11 in the chat. Please says, well, thank you, Jan. Thanks for the info, Chris. I never heard that before, Chris. I never heard that before. His gun on the show was rented from an antique dealer. Huh. Well, how about that? But yeah, since I've got so much work to do, you never know the condition of the wood at this event for fires. So I've got to sit down sometime in the next couple of days while I'm not working and make fire starters. Of course, I save all of our newspapers, I save all the dryer lint, I save all my candle stubs. So I will actually make dryer lint, paper, wax, fire starter logs. Just in case. I've seen them bring out old fence posts, cedar fence posts. I've seen them bring out oak. I've seen them bring out pine. I've seen them bring out barnwood. So you never know what you're going to get into in this place. I've seen them bring out nothing but scraps, limbs and stuff like that they picked up off their own property. So my grandpa was a Gunsmoke Bonanza fanatic. Your grandpa and my mom would get along great. She does not miss any of those shows. She gets up in the morning, she makes her little instant Folgers cup of coffee, she goes to the TV room while Dad's out in the living room watching golf or whatever, and she is watching Paladin, she is watching Matt Dillon, she is watching the Cartwright, she is watching whatever is on TV. So, and that's where she spends the whole day, is right there watching her old shows. I forgot to hit the like on the way in. Error corrected. No problem, Gunny, it happens. Back then, there wasn't so many hoops to pass through. Use a rented, borrowed gun. Miniguns on those shows came from Stembridge Arms. Looking for bagpipe assassins, found James Stewart, was the first head of state, regent of the king that ended ever in an Abraham Lincoln fashion. I just got along really well with Scottish and Irish people. It's insane. I really love the bagpipes. Oh yeah, Big Valley and Rawhide too. 1500 Scotland was the Wild West of its time. Probably. I was actually just watching another Scottish YouTuber earlier, and he was talking about the fact that the Battle of Culloden was not the end of the Jacobites. There was a fight between the Scottish, the Prussians, the English, and the French 15 years after Culloden, right about the time that we were starting to, or, close to the end of the French and Indian War here. That battle was one of the beginnings battles of the 7 Years' War over there. It is same, Gunsmoke, Laramie, Big Valley. The Wild West wasn't all that wild. Been watching Branded with Chuck Connors. Way the Hell Overblown by Cinema. Chris Jarvis. Stembridge Arms was a dealer and supplied firearms for movies, TV shows. I believe their shop was on the Paramount lot. Yeah, World War Zero. There you go. Santee would know. He is in the industry. Yes, he is. The guy that I'm watching, let me see if I've still got it here on the page. I'm going to flip off our chat here for a second. Yeah, Scotland History Tours. Bruce is the guy that hosts it. He's actually very, very cool. I had a wee chat with him yesterday. I sent him a message yesterday morning, and when I got home from work yesterday afternoon, later in the evening, I had a response from him. French and Indian War, 7 Years' War, truly was a world war before we called them that, yeah. Looking at newspapers from the era, lots of violence, daily shootings, knifings, fights, etc. Took me forever to realize he was half black. Well, I mean, having a half black daughter, I kind of caught on to that. I really recognize that Molka, and that's what she calls herself, is Molka. I kind of, grown to be able to recognize that skin tone. But yeah, Bruce is great. Real nice guy. If I ever bloody make it to Scotland, he's one of them I'm definitely going to try to look up. Now, Debbie said something earlier about always being able to connect with Scottish and Irish people, and loving the pipes and stuff like that. I had made a remark, I believe it was Friday morning, in the live stream, that it's a little known fact that so many Jacobites were captured after the Battle of Culloden. Only a few of them were put to death, either by burning at the stake or being hung or being drawled and quartered. Um, but there were so many of them still imprisoned that the English, the crown, actually started banishing them to different British holdings. Some were banished to Australia, some were banished to America, some were banished to Canada. Um, so the old stories of Australia being a penal colony. Yes, Tony. Once again, I said penal is true. That one of the original groups to be of prisoners to be sent to Australia and to help to found Australia as we know it today were Scottish and Irish. They were Jacobites. So that might be why you have this connection. You might come to find that you have a little Scottish in you. And seeing as how Debbie said she would gladly marry a Scotsman, obviously Debbie would like a little more Scottish in her. Oh, ooh, ow. Oh, I'm going to go to hell for that. I'm looking to connect with Scottish people. If you're Scottish, DM me on Instagram or email. And I rest my case. I'm looking to connect, blah, blah, blah. Most of the people are from England or Dublin. Most of my people. I love the bagpipes from the Piper Can Play. A lot of them fought in the American Revolution. Yes, actually, the very last Highland charge was during 1776 in North Carolina at, I believe it's called Moore's Bridge, the Battle of Moore's Bridge. A group of ex-Jacobites who were forced into service by the crown. So they were fighting for the British, even though 10 years before they fought against the British. They were pretty much slaughtered. They were pretty much slaughtered rushing across the bridge at the American troops. Rather fluent in English. I know you are. You didn't have to retract that message, Debbie. I read it. Even though I may only be able to comment 5 minutes after you put up something, I normally try to see every comment as it pops up. I got your number, girl. I got your number. Blah, blah, blah. Well, I know the difference between penal and penal. I take no offense, you got it right. Oh my goodness. I was really looking forward to having a couple days off with the wife. But like I said, I've got almost a yard of pleating to put into that great kilt over the next 2 days. I have got to get into the shed and dig out my big iron coffee pot and pull out all my fire irons, get the iron or the metal tripod put in there. I've got to go dig out my cot. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. Teach the kid to sew. No, not on my kilt. There's a certain stitch that I use that was only used back then. And the pleating that I put on a kilt like that, when I lay it out flat on the floor, I pull, I double over the material this way, and then I double it over this way, and I triple stitch, and then I move on over here and double this side this way, this side this way. It's not just folding it over and pleating it. No, I'll do that myself. I'll do that myself, and I'll pay the price with that 16 gauge frickin' needle that I use to do my sewing on heavy wool and stuff like that. My dad was Italian and my mom was German. Then I married Jay, who is Bavarian German. That's it. Now I figured it out why I love Jay so much. He's full of Bavarian cream. That's it. And that explains your cooking skills too. Wow. Now I knew you had Italian in your family, but I didn't know exactly how much. Yeah, see, mine's very easy. Now I don't know anything about my mom's ancestry. Mom don't even know anything about her mom's ancestry. But um, on my um, on my grandfather's side, we were all English. My dad's dad. On my dad's mom's side, we were Scotch Irish. My great grandmother was Scottish, or was, yeah, Scottish, and my great grandfather was Irish. And then on my, like I said, on my dad's side were English, and on my mom's dad's side were English. So that's pretty much me in a nutshell right there. Is um, Irish, Scottish, English. Um, yeah, the Scottish side was McGraw's or McCrae's, but McGraw's were a subsect of the McCrae's. On my grandma's dad's side, it was Mahoney's, and then it was Ellsworth's and Lloyd's, um, on both my grandfather's sides. Both sets of my great grandparents on my mom's side came here from Germany. Dad came to this country from Italy when he was 12. As to the brown, it was originally brawn. Makes sense. My dad's ancestry DNA leads me to believe I'm mostly part Scotland and Ireland. Well, and when it comes to the Scottish side of a lot of our families, even if you've got, how can I explain this? A lot of the eastern, or a lot of the western coast of Scotland was Irish, and a lot of the northeastern coast of Ireland had a huge Scot DNA influence in it. I've told you guys before about um, my great grandmother's family. My great grandfather and my great grandmother were actually related by five, six, seven generations, because a group of Mahonies left County Cork in the 17th century, and they were going to come to America and got fimble-fambled around in a storm in the Celtic Sea and wound up in Scotland. And then 150 years later, my grandfather, who was a Mahoney, and my grandmother, no, 275 years, so multiple generations. My grandmother, who was a genetic, or my great grandmother, who was a genetic Mahoney, married my grandfather, my great grandfather, who was a blood Mahoney, met in Indiana and got married. So, yeah. It's amazing how twisted and pigtailed a lot of our genetics is. Ron, my dad's ancestry leads with us, and Norse. Norse pretty much took over Ireland, took over a big chunk of Scotland as well. Family goes back to Edward the Longshanks. I haven't got our genealogy book yet, but I'm supposed to get it next. Norse, Germanian, the Celts and the Hellenic era in Europe. Erased the last 1,000 years of lines on the map. Yeah, I had an aunt, thank God, saved me from having to do the work. I had an aunt that was my grandmother's cousin, named Barbara Ellsworth. She lived out in California when she was still around, and she done our family genealogy all the way back to the mid 1600s. So she had each generation, where they came from, where their family came from. This book was like that bloody damn thick. That's how I found out that my family, the Mahonies, the McCraes, and the Ellsworths all came to America in 1754. It was very well laid out. Sadly enough, she only made 6 copies of it. And when my grandmother passed away, my uncle went in and completely cleaned out her house, and he wound up with the book. And God only knows where he's at now. It was just a couple years later, he got divorced. His wife went one direction, he went the other, and nobody's heard from either one of them in 9 years. So, even if Sicilian, you're part Norse, Normans and all, how accurate is Ancestry.com, or is it a scam? Is as accurate as the people putting data in it? That's a good response. That's a good response. The only thing my German-Italian heritage has gotten me is bad temper. My mom always apologized to me for that. Ancestry is too much money. I looked into it. It's $100 for a DNA kit, but to use the website is a monthly subscription. I have a cousin who uses Ancestry.com and has been given accurate information. From what I've heard of Ancestry.com, of different people using it and stuff like that, it seems like for the more popular, let's just put it this way, the more that is known about a group, the more accurate the information. Smaller groups, groups that bred from one culture to another culture, stuff like that, you're not going to get a lot of information on. So in certain cases, it may be well worth the money. In certain cases, probably not. They say they can connect you to relatives. Do you know the easiest way I have found to connect to? We'll do this. Relatives. Facebook. I had McRae's at my wedding that I connected with through Facebook. And I have found multiple McRae groups through Facebook. I mean, we were a pretty big clan in Scotland, and you know, I have I connected with more relatives, distant, mind you, clan members, than I have any place else using Facebook. But yeah, I had a large group of McRae's that I've never met before. I've only chatted with on Facebook Messenger. Show up at our wedding. It was amazing. They loved the wedding. They loved the Scottish Ceilidh we had. We didn't have a normal reception. We had a Scottish Ceilidh. So my aunt spent 8 years, thousands of dollars on a website to track my dad's side back to 1300s England. Wow. Jay's cousin is a genealogical person. We get our information from him. They caught that killer from the 1960s cold case using Ancestry by finding his cousins. I heard about that. I didn't get a lot of detail on it, but I remember that story. The easiest way to connect with relatives is to announce you just won Powerball. I giggle at that, but it's freaking true. Good morning, Lady C. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well this morning. Jarvis is such a popular name in the UK, it's insane. Well, to be honest with you, Chris, you're the first Jarvis that I've ran across since Tony Stark's computer AI. Well, yeah, you're the first one I've ran across since I heard the name Jarvis on Iron Man. So, and I have spent many years chatting back and forth with people in the UK and everything. Tons here in Ohio. Wow. I've got to get to Ohio. I've got to get to Ohio. You and there's so many others that I would like to connect with. And there are people with the last name Jarvis here in my town. Wow. And you're clear down there in Texas. Wasn't there a computer assistant program named Jarvis? Yeah, Tony Starks on Iron Man. That was Jarvis. Until Jarvis became, damn, what was the name he used in that? Vision. Jarvis became Vision, and then Tony invented Friday. Try having the last name Hopkins. Oh, I know. I know a lot of Hopkins, girl. There's a city named Jarvis in Kentucky. Yes, you do. Did your parents get in safely? Yes, Sarah. We had a really good day together on last Monday. They made it back to my sister's place. I think my sister came home yesterday. That's something else I have to do today is give them a call before they head back to Tennessee. Yeah, Alfred is the Batman as Jarvis is the Iron Man, exactly. But yes, they got in safely. We had a really good time. It was nice spending time with them. I just really wish they stopped looking so much older every time I saw them. Every time I see my mom and dad, it reminds me of our mortality. I'm one of the Hopkins. Oh, I know, Tony. That is how aging works. You know, we never continue to get older, and or we always continue. We never continue to not get older. And you know, since I quit taking all that medicine and everything else, I actually feel younger than I did before. And you know, I look at my mom and dad, and every time I see them, they're a little whiter. The hair's got all the color out of it now. You know, I see the aging on their skin. And it really bothers me that um, I'm finally, at almost 56 years old, I'm finally able. No, able is not the word. I'm finally coming to terms with their mortality. And though I'm almost 56 years old, I'm not ready to come to terms with their mortality. My mom's passing day was May 4th. She's been gone 11 years. My grandparents are turning 80. Hard to watch. My grandma was 95 when she passed away. And there was no stopping that woman. She was 95 years old. And how she died was so ironic. At 95 years old, she wanted to decorate her living room. And she got one of her chairs and climbed up on the chair to hang baskets on her archway going from her living room to her dining room. And she got 4 baskets hung up. And when she was hanging the 5th basket up, she fell and broke her hip. And they took her to the hospital to take her into surgery to fix her hip, and she never come out of the anesthesia. Weirdest story I've ever heard. She was strong enough to get up there, hang a basket, drive a nail, hang a basket, get down, scoot her chair over, get back up, drive a nail, hang a basket, get back down. Done that 4 times before she fell, and all that up and down at 95. She falls and breaks her hip and don't come out of the anesthesia. So, yeah. Still alive. My granny was like my mom. When she died, it destroyed me. See, that's what I'm afraid of with my mom and dad. We could never live together. I'm too much like my dad. It was constant button heads. But whenever I needed him, he was always there. I'm still alive. She'll be 98 on our next birthday. It's not the passing, but it's the failing. See, I don't see it as failing. I don't really see it as failing. I grew up in a household where I was always told that we could do anything we put our mind to. And this is going to sound stupid, and I'm sorry for that. But dying and staying dead is something that I've not been able to pull off yet. So in a way, I celebrate their passing because they were able to accomplish something that I've not been able to do yet. Let's just say that I celebrate their tenacity. Turn that off, turn it back on before it shuts off on its own. Grandma Jarvis was 94 but had dementia the last 5 years. Hell, I may be the oldest remaining member of my family on the maternal side. My dad, who passed away a couple of years ago, said she would outlive the whole family. See? It's that kind of determination right there. And that's kind of the determination that I have now. I mean, especially after all that nasty stuff that happened in 2016, now that I've taken a couple short trips to the other side and seen what's there waiting, I'm in no rush to go back. I'm in no rush to go back. And that's why I'm so happy with the fact that I quit taking all the medicine and putting that crap in my body, because now I feel younger. I don't feel the effects of all that stuff anymore that happened to me. And I'm very happy with that. Tenacity is a double-edged sword. Grandpa laid a motorcycle down onto himself last summer, had ridden for 40 years. My dad did it. My dad rode, You know, my mom to this day has a scar going from her kneecap to her hip on her right leg, no, left leg, because of a motorcycle accident back in 66. They were out riding with friends. They hit some wet leaves. Dad took the bike down, broke Mom's leg. She had a stainless steel bar put in. It was 38 years later that they were out driving or riding the bike one day, and Dad hit loose gravel turning a corner. They had just come through and they had graded the gravel road, and Dad didn't know, and he turned the corner and the bike went out from under him, and he dropped his bike and broke his big toe. Poopy shit happens, man. Poopy happens. My dad's mother, who was mean as shit, died shortly after our wedding. I didn't mourn, actually, was kind of glad. Yeah, I think you've told me about your grandmother. I think you've told me about her. All I know is because of everything that was taught to me and everything I've survived, I'm a force to be reckoned with. Oh gosh, there was not a nurturing grandma. Oh yeah, Scout, you're right. You're right. What kind of lessons would they teach us if they fail once and give up? I mean, if that was the lesson I was taught growing up, we wouldn't be here right now. You know, after the nasty stuff that happened with the original channel and my tenacity and determination to keep it going, you know, when they shut me down the first time, I would have never put this channel up. And here we are, 800 some odd videos later. You know, almost 1,600 new people. Be kind of boring. She was far from nurturing. The dog could sit on the furniture, but I had to sit on the floor. I did stuff twice when someone told me I couldn't. That sounds like me. The more that you told me to do things, the less apt I was to do them. Or when you told me that I couldn't do something, I did it twice just to prove you wrong. She was a whack job. Took a while to find you, though. Yeah, and see, that's the bad thing, Scout. When I got the warning that my old channel was going down in 3 days, I went through my list and I tried to send messages to everyone to let them know about the new channel. And a lot of people I couldn't find. Or they didn't have a channel, or they were just a supporter or something. And I couldn't locate a lot of them to tell them about this new channel. So I had to start punching those videos out as fast as I could, and hopefully I would pop up on somebody's suggested views or something like that. Sounds like it. That's me. I think this is the guy. Let me get this off here. Watch the blind guy touch the screen he's broadcasting from. Alright, let's see here. I was thinking I could run it over and help you set it up. Where exactly is the fair? Can't get there till about 5:30 p.m. Is that too late? Uh, no, Darren, that's fine. I'll be there earlier than that on the 17th to help the people that put it on get things arranged and help people get. I will be helping people get set up, but I'll be telling them where their spot is to set up. But I can have my whole camp minus the tent set up before that, and that way when you do show up, yeah, sorry, I'm in the middle of my live stream. But yeah, we can just throw the tent up real quick, and I can move the flooring and the bedding and everything in there and get it all put together. So yeah, that's not an issue. It is at Plym Park, just north of downtown Niles. And like I said, I'm in the middle of my live stream, but I will send you the address here so you can like stick it on your phone and GPS it and stuff. But I appreciate it, bud. And yeah, I'll talk to you here in just a little bit. Sorry, guys. Was it those auto copyright claimers? I'm getting robot ones lately. I really think it was. I really think it was because that was during the beginning of the pandemic where nobody was working at Google, nobody was working at YouTube, so there was no one to contact by email or anything. It was all ran by the computer. And these were copyright claims. The 3 copyright claims were copyright claims on old tintype photos. So if you know anything about copyright law, you can't really copyright anything before copyright law went into effect. You can't copyright anything from before copyright law went into effect. These were all photos gotten off of Google for one of my earliest videos. And one of my earliest, I think it was a soiled dove video. But 3 different claims, 3 consecutive days on the same video. And it was the same company. But when I tried to email them to settle it, the emails would come back to me. It was a fake email address. So, yeah, I think it was auto copyright that was doing it. So, you can't win against a computer because you can't argue with a computer. All you can do is take a hammer to it and beat the crap out of it. I was the firstborn grandkid on my maternal side and the preemie that died at birth. I was treated very specially by the family. I was the firstborn grandchild in my family. So, yeah, I was especially by grandma and grandpa, my dad's mom and dad. My mom's mom and dad, I was only 4 when my grandfather passed away from his 7th heart attack. And my grandmother, she was always a material person. So much like Jan was saying earlier about not being allowed to sit on the furniture and stuff, my grandmother had a house full of antiques and expensive furniture. She would set up traps. She had expensive candy dishes with candy in them that we weren't allowed to touch. So you could sit there and look at the candy, but you weren't allowed to eat any of it because you had to take the little crystal lid off of it to get a piece of candy out and set it back down. We were not allowed to sit on the furniture. We were not allowed to sit on the. She had a couch in her living room that looked like it came out of an estate in France. I mean, this thing had the gold plated wood and stuff on it, and it was a floral French fabric, and yeah, you just couldn't. Yeah. If you wanted to hang with the family, you did it out on the front porch or in the dining room floor. I'm getting fake Disney scammer ones for music and old game videos I had to delete weekly. Wow. I've never got anything like that. Hey Templar, good to see you, bud. Hope you're doing well today. Great grandma had the glass knickknacks and decades old hard candy in a dish. That was a whole type of person. Yep, she had the decades. She had the decades old glass knickknacks and crystal knickknacks, and just all kinds of stuff. Bookcases of antique toys and books and stuff. Knowing that I was a reader, even, and she would have these old books and she would talk about them, but you weren't allowed to touch them. I have furniture from my great-grandparents and my grandparents. That's cool. Just counting down 9 days, 4 hours to go on a road trip to see the kin. There you go, bud. Woohoo. 9 days and 4 hours. And a well-deserved vacation. Best I can recall, I only got punished by my grandparents twice. One when my younger than I Uncle Keith burnt down Granny's old house. Grandparents twice. One when my younger than I. So wait, your Uncle Keith, who was younger than you, burnt down your granny's old house and you got in trouble for it? Don't open, it's a first edition. You'll crease the spine. These things were so creased up and everything. No, see, she could get them out and open them up and show them around, but when we wanted to read them, and it was I swear to God, my grandmother was a nun in a previous life. She was a school teaching nun in a previous life. She had no problem slapping your hand, and I mean leaving fingerprints across the top of your hand, cracking you with whatever she had handy that she could. I don't care if it was a fly swatter, I don't care if it was a wooden spoon. I don't care what it was. I was there with him. He was foolish to start a gunfight with me, who was a much better shot. Oh yeah, wooden spoons. Gotta love them wooden spoons. And my wife's got a collection of them out here in the kitchen, and every single time I walk in that kitchen and she's using one, I kind of wince a little bit. And I want to leave the room for fear that I'm going to say the wrong thing and get it thrown at me or something. Tabasco sauce when you swear. Lava soap when you swear. And boy, oh boy, that was my mom's thing. That was my mom's thing, was lava soap. And she got that from her mom, of course. But she would make you stick your tongue out, and she would take her thumb and lick it and rub it all over the bottom of that lava soap. Then she'd rub it on your tongue until you started to, then she'd make you hold it in your mouth where that wet lava soap was sitting on your tongue. So no matter how much you moved your tongue, tried to talk, apologize, curse her under your breath, the flavor of that lava soap was just constantly filling your mouth. Palmolive dish soap. Oh, some of the things our parents did to us in today's world. Boy, would they have been in trouble. Was always good around my grandparents after my mom told me about my grandfather whose paddle was a cast iron frying pan. Oh my godly. That'll leave a mark. I would get hit with vice water, the old ones that had the water lily on the back of it. Oh, dang. Now my grandfather, I was only spanked by him once growing up. My grandfather still used a straight razor. It wasn't until he hit his 60s that he started using the old metal razors that you had to replace the razor blades in when they got dull. But he still used a straight razor. Therefore, he had a razor strop out in the garage. And I got the razor strop once. And I learned my lesson. There was no more strop in my razor after that. I'd get beat in a twisted wire handle of one of those fly swatters. Or a coat hanger. Yeah, it was never that bad. Once and that's enough. The belt for me. Now, I think it's been a long time, but I think I told you guys about the time that I really upset my dad. And I don't remember what I even done. But I remember him making me go in and lay across, bend over across him and Mom's bed. And my dad took off his army belt. And he used those immortal words, "This is gonna hurt me more than it does you." And being the smartass 15-year-old that I was, I turned around and looked at him and I said, "Trade me places and you won't feel that way." And he doubled that belt up in his hand and he walked out in the kitchen and he looked at my mom. He said, "You're going to have to do it because I won't stop." And he went out to the garage. So, now granted, it don't always work that way, when you're already in trouble and your mouth off. Sometimes you just get beat more. With my dad, it was, "Oh God, no. I don't want to start swinging now because I'm going to forget where I'm at." My mom used to shave her legs with an old razor. Like you mentioned, it's still in the medicine cabinet downstairs. My dad used a wooden paddle. I had to get it for him. I never got whooped by Dad. The funniest thing about my dad was always a fair person. He was a harsh punisher. He, when us kids got too old to spank anymore with a belt, he took an old wooden canoe paddle. He stained it real dark, and you'll see me do it on some of the videos where I have like blue letters outlined in white. That's kind of an homage to my dad, because he took that old canoe paddle and he stenciled no board on the paddle part of that in blue letters with white outline. And he would always threaten to get the no board when one of us kids done something wrong. I was a sophomore in high school, and we had a big test coming up on a Monday. So I'm laying in front of the TV doing my homework on Sunday night. And I kept looking up the TV, and I'd stop doing what I was doing. And he looked at me, he told me 3 or 4 times, "You look up at that TV one more time and I'm going to go get the no board." I'd laugh at him because he never once ever got one of us with that board. He just didn't have the heart to do it. He finally had enough, and he went and got that board. Went to the closet to get that paddle. He came back, and when he didn't swing to hurt me, he just swung to get my attention. The tip of that board hit the floor by my hip, and the paddle snapped. He thought he broke it on my butt. He left that piece of paddle laying there, took the handle out to the garage, threw it in the wood bin out in the garage for that he threw his wood into the wood stove with. Popped open a beer and started crying because he thought he broke that board on my butt. That was the last time my dad ever whooped one of us kids. He was a good man. He was a stern disciplinarian. But boy, when he thought he hurt one of us, his world crumbled. His world crumbled. So, yeah. Took me forever to convince him that he didn't break it on my butt. He broke it because the tip hit the floor. 3 beers later, he came into the house. He paddles no wooden spoon. Just looking at that would put fear of God into me. We didn't like it. And he kept it in our closet where I and my sister's clothes hung up. Good morning, Skipper. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well this morning. I hated whooping the girls. I don't whoop my daughter. There's better ways to punish her. Better ways to punish her. Just take away her electronics and she's a lost puppy. She has no clue what to do. You take away her tablet and her laptop. Yes, and just think how we turned out so much respectfully than the new generation. Yeah, amen. You're lucky your dad had a conscience. My dad was old school cruel. My mother had to step in between us to protect us. Yeah, he was never that bad. He was never that bad. You know, come to think of it, Skipper, now that you say that, I don't think I've ever had to put hands on any of my kids. I don't remember ever spanking the boys, which, I mean, they're in their 30s now, but I don't remember ever spanking the boys. I've never, I mean, I've threatened to spank my daughter a few times. It's never come to that. But yeah, my dad had a hell of a conscience when he thought when he thought he hurt me that day, when he thought he broke that paddle on me. That was it. That was the last day. Good morning, Ian. Hope you're doing well this morning there, bud. Looking forward to seeing you at the Ren Fair here in about a week and a half. I've even whooped the grandkids. I don't get to spend that much time with my older grandkids. I'm supposed to have them for a little bit this summer. So, and quite honestly, when they're around me, I don't get any flack from them. They get to see me so little that they're absolutely amazing around me. Hell, they never leave my side when they're around me. Sharing a lot of privileges for my kids. I may have swatted Ashley with my hand a couple times. She was a good kid. They also enjoy doing extra chores. There you go. Sorry, my leg itches. Yep. My son and his spouse, along with my youngest grandchild, will be moving in September in order for me to help them save for a home. Well, there you go. Nothing beats some family time together, and I'm sure Dad will help them save up some money. That's for sure. As I said earlier, I'm putting up the PayPal link. I do have the Niles Ren Fair coming up, not this coming weekend, but next weekend. Being head of security for that event, I always get much better deals on props and pieces to add to my own collection for reenacting. With my job, of course, you guys know it. Know the whole situation with that crap show. There won't be a lot of money coming out of that to take along with me. So that's where donations are going Right now, of course, I'll make money on that event, but I won't get paid till Sunday night when it's over. So that don't help me a lot when it comes to getting food and things I need for camp. So that's where everything's going right now, to help pad that one up. So there's that. Blah blah blah. Yada yada. Plus, I need more coffee before then. We don't want to see me doing security around the public with no caffeine in my system. May not be pretty. Last year was the event where we had the two missing kids. One went missing on Saturday, one went missing on Sunday. Of course, we had them back with their families in less than 15 minutes. Automatically, right off the bat, locked the gates down so nobody could get in and out. We had people posted at the gates, the descriptions of the kids, everything. So hopefully it's a completely and totally uneventful weekend, except for fun, giggles, and a whole lot of drinking. And fire, juggling, and swallowing, and fun stuff like that. I can do without the stress of missing children. Oh my goodness, it is 20 minutes. It's 18 minutes till 10 already. Jesus criminy. Where does the time go? I sit in here with y'all and we just chat about everything under the sun and time just flies by. It's kind of like when I'm with Ian or Jan and Jay or, whoever comes by and hangs out here, or when I meet them somewhere. Time just flies by. It's never long enough. I don't see how people do 30-minute live streams or 40-minute live streams and they feel like they've done anything. They say that the perfect live stream should only be about 30 minutes. Hell, if we can't fit a good day into 2 hours, it feels like a loss. And they're saying 30 minutes is the perfect live stream. Must be live streams done by ugly people that nobody wants to see. Or they just have boring material. I don't freaking know. Good morning, Bud Files. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well this morning. Early watch started at 6 hours. I miss early watch. I miss you guys being on there. The couple of times I caught you on there, it was a good show. I enjoyed it. I'm sure I'm not the only one that misses it. Man, I am not looking forward to laying in the middle of that living room floor putting the pleats in that great kilt this morning. I know at least my hand will have time to heal, because I've got to put 30 pleats across the back of that great kilt. So I'm sure I'm going to have 38 or 40 holes in my fingers. Yeah, that's going to be that's going to make for a very interesting. Um, yeah. Thank God my fingers have time to heal before Friday, or you guys would all be experiencing this whole hand covered in bandages and stuff like that. You know, you, blind people sewing. I mean, it's a video all in itself. A thimble? What's that? I can't feel where the needle's coming through at with a thimble on. More than 2 hours is hard to pull off most days, especially now that I don't like to really do anything before I go to work, because I get up in the morning and I work on videos, and then I do a live stream, and by the time I get the live stream done, I've got a half hour or 40 minutes to get ready to leave, and then I'm missing hours through the day, and by the time I get home, everybody's up and moving around. The daughter's home from school. The cats are all going nuts. Um, so I really can't do anything. Now, tonight, of course, it's card night for the wife, and she's got friends from work coming over, and her nieces are coming over, and they're kind of doing a card night, Mardi Gras, pitch in kind of thing. Or not Mardi Gras, Cinco de Mayo, since they couldn't get together last night because everybody had to work. So they're doing a 6 de Mayo, yeah, May 6th, a 6 de Mayo um, party tonight. So I'll be laying in the middle of the floor tonight, um, still probably sewing that bloody damn thing. So, yeah, beads and boobs cards. That's it. Knowing these crazy drunk butts, there probably will be beads and boobs involved. Who knows? If there is, though, Tony, I will make a short video and I will send it to you on Messenger, so you can get up in the morning and see it. It's a great way to start your day, bud. That'd be a great name for this chat. That'd be a great name for our live stream. Coffee and boobs. Wonder if YouTube would let that fly. Anyway. It's kind of the idea. Blind people sewing. High fashion. You don't need that? Okay. I was starting to say, you know, they range in age from like 24. My wife's the oldest of the group at 44, but, 24 to 36. So, okay, if you don't need it. I'm just wondering where we're going to fit 6 women around a table with 4 chairs. Oh well. Yeah, that's true. Tomorrow's the big thing with your old chest there, bud. I would really hate for you to get it all done and over with and get home and, pull up the video and then your heart rate start increasing again. So, yeah, you don't need that right now. So, no excitement for Tony, guys, for the next few days. We want Tony to be in to go get his procedure done and be nice and healthy for us and come back, and Yeah, we want an energetic, young-feeling Tony. So definitely prayers for Mr. York with the oncoming procedure, and you know, my heart rate don't increase. Boy, mine still does. Whoop whoop. Love and Mike, back to work. Somebody needs to save the day. Yes, sir. Most definitely. You you have a good day, Templar, and don't work too awful hard, and get this day over with so you can have a little bit of fun. But you take care, bud. We'll catch you first of the week. Tony will be in my thoughts and prayers. Tony's always in my thoughts. I uh, I have too much fun with Tony in here uh, for the live streams. So Tony's always in my thoughts. So because when I'm not doing a live stream, uh, I'm always thinking, hey, I wonder what Ornery Butt's doing this morning. Wonder if he's sitting out in his garage playing on his radio. I could never do a treadmill stress test. Heart rate would never go over 105. Wow. You can time travel, you know. One cigarette takes 17 minutes off your life. The trick is smoking them faster than that. That's true. One cigarette takes 17 minutes off your life. So I sit and after making that remark, Scout, I sit and think about Steph's grandma and the 3 packs of cigarettes she was smoking per day for over 30 years. And then even there at the end, before she passed away a year ago, this past January, she was smoking 2.5 packs of cigarettes a day. And I remember her going to the doctor several years ago, and the doctor telling her, you know, normally I would tell you to quit smoking, but I think the nicotine and everything is all that's holding you together right now. So I think you stopping smoking would be worse on your body than just continuing to smoke. And she was 74. So after the 200 some odd thousand cigarettes that she smoked, um, I think she probably would have lived to be as old as her grandmother, which she was like 107, 106, 107 when she died. So yeah. Um, Good morning, Terry. Good to see you. Right before we walk out the door, too. We got about 7 minutes left. Good to see you, though, girl. Hope you're doing well. Oh, I get a new pacemaker defib in the morning. You know, I've never been around anyone for any length of time that had a pacemaker or a defibrillator in their chest. I remember hearing stories, though, about being careful around microwave ovens and things like that. And I'm thinking, if microwave energy interferes with electrical current, like it does, you know, we have our Wi-Fi modem right there in the kitchen where the cable comes in at, the only active cable still in the house here. And every time somebody turns on the microwave, it interferes with the Wi-Fi. Um, it always made me wonder if it interferes with the electromagnetic firing in our bodies, and if it really does kind of interfere with a defibrillator or a pacemaker. So I mean, they do run on electricity. So, yeah, I always kind of wondered if that was actually the case. Maybe the new microwaves, not as much, but the older ones I know, yeah. I meant literally time travel. That was as a joke. Got morbid. Well, morbid is our middle name. My mom had a pacemaker. Microwave equals radio. Issue is that it distorts the memory circuits. Same idea with keeping cell phone away. Makes sense. I know my cell phone interferes with my memory circuits. I'll be sitting there trying to do something on my phone and completely forget what I'm doing. Yeah, it interferes with my memory circuits. Then again, I could be sitting here working on the computer and forget what I'm doing. So maybe it's just my memory circuits. Maybe I've got faulty memory circuits. Maybe I'm just old. Who the hell knows? My pacemaker is monitored by Merlin at home. I'm not familiar with Merlin. I've never heard of Merlin before. Now, I did have a friend once that had a pacemaker. No, he did not have a pacemaker. He had a defibrillator, and yeah, he never really had any issues. He never really had any issues with his defibrillator that I know of. If he did, he never told me. So, no clue on that one. A defib is a pacemaker. Oh, okay. I did not know that. I thought they were two totally different devices. Because I knew a person one time that had a pacemaker and a defibrillator. So I thought they were two totally different devices. That shows you how much I know. Um, I, I'm totally ignorant when it comes to those. Google says a microwave wave is 10 to the third power. I think that is 10, 10 3, 10 5. So it can't cook or interfere with anything smaller than that. Same little box. Wow. See, I did not know that. Brought up a bit of answer running 5 minutes inside one. Wow. Which is really funny because we've all heard stories of people putting that guinea pig or whatever in a microwave and it exploding. So yeah, that I don't know how those work either. I stick a microwave burrito in there, or I stick 3 microwave burritos in there for 3 minutes, and they come out perfect. So, yeah, that's all I know about a microwave. I know I can stick a bowl of ramen noodles in there for 3 minutes and 20 seconds. They come out almost boiling, and that's perfect. So, that's pretty much all I know about a microwave. Microwave oven is a radio transmitter. It sends microwave wavelength radio signals into the box. Guinea pig is bigger, 10 millimeter, ants are smaller. Okay, makes sense. Makes sense. But alright, guys, it is that time. it is time for me to cripple my fingers up and stab the hell out of myself with a needle. So there's that one more time in case somebody scratched off a really good ticket in the last 5 minutes. Um, Wavelength Gantt reacts to surface area. However, as a ham can put microwaves out of an antenna so long as it's far enough out of reach to not cook people. That makes sense. But I'm going to head out. I'm going to try to get stuff started here so I've got less stress over the next week to get things ready for that show. You guys all have an amazing day. Have an amazing week. We will be back on Friday morning, same fat time, same fat station. Um, and we'll do this all over again. But until then, y'all take care of yourselves, take care of each other. God bless you, God love you, I do. And we'll catch you here in a few days. Have a great day, y'all. Tony, take care of yourself, bud, and we will catch you. We'll catch you in a few days. Take it easy. Don't stress yourself out. Love you guys. We'll holler at you later.